Alright guys, welcome to the Kuwait Music interview.
Woo!
We are with Voice of the Soul, Monish, rhythm guitarist, and Kareem, lead guitarist extraordinaire. Here's your first question. Tell us a little bit about VOTS.
Alright, yeah, so I started VOTS in 2007 in October. Started with a guy, a friend of mine who played drums, another friend who played guitar. We used to just write songs on weekends for fun, and we said, you know, let's get a band, let's start jamming with a full band. Nothing really happened that much, but the drummer and I carried on, and then I started a Facebook group called Guitarists, Bassists, Drummers, Keyboardists, and Vocalists in Kuwait to look for band members. And I met a few guys, and we all met up together, and we started a band, and we had a nice lineup. In April 2008, there's a battle of the bands which we played in, and we played covers, but we put on a good show and kind of realized, okay, this is something we want to do in our free time. This is lots of fun. Unfortunately, this summer, most of the band members moved out because, you know, everybody comes and goes in Kuwait, expatriates and whatnot. And so I kept going. In August, I met Manish, yeah, that's nice. And he joined the band, and we started writing originals. We got different people in the band, but we were very picky. We had people who, you know, it's hard to find committed teenagers or teenagers who don't have a huge ego. So we kicked out a lot of people, something like 10 or 12 people. Yeah,
and it's just like we were young and
yeah,
like, you know, how bands go through immature lineup changes and everything, you know. So that was inevitable. And then finally, like I think by the end of 2008, we finally me and Kareem finally like wrote up some originals and we started recording. So yeah, from then on we started writing material, recording, and like we in the beginning of this year and in June we played like 3 shows overall in Dubai, and now we've just finished recording our third EP. So yeah, it's pretty good, looking solid.
Awesome.
And and since then, I mean, Ahmed joined the band just last summer, and then a month later we got our drummer, who's a friend of ours in Dubai. So essentially, Manish and I pretty much just started on our own, and then with time we picked up, and now we have a full lineup, which is really, really exciting for us because it's been a long time.
So guys, who have been your major influences, and how has it affected your music that you play today?
Well, I mean, we all have our own influences, both from the metal and rock and other genres which aren't related to either. But the band is really influenced by a lot of death metal bands and a lot of melodic death metal bands from Sweden from the early 90s, like At the Gates, Dark Tranquility, Old in Flames. But we have influences from bands like, you know, Death and Slayer and all sorts of stuff like that. But for me personally, I listen to a lot of things. I really like the grunge era, for example. Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam are two of my favorite bands. I like classical music a lot. I like a lot of bluesy stuff. And I think all that kind of incorporates in the music. So we have an identity in the music, but I think everybody differs. I mean, Monish listens to all sorts of stuff too.
I mean, like, in our music, like, we're basically a melodic death metal band, but it's like, we try to experiment a lot. Like, we have, like, in this new EP and even in the old EP, we have, like, a doom song, you know, so because both me and Kareem really love listening to some doom metal, like some bands like Swallow the Sun, Daylight Dies, one of our favorite bands, so we gain a lot of influence and we try to experiment in our own music, you know, so that's good.
Excellent. What would you say is your greatest weakness as a band?
Well, let's just take all 4 of the band members. They're all in university and we're all living in different countries, you know. He's studying in the US, I'm studying in India, Ahmad's studying in the UK, and Rana is going to go and study in Ireland, you know. So our greatest weakness would be long distance communication, you know. We cannot jam every week, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. We meet like once in every 6 months, once in every 6 months. So it's hard, you know, instead of jamming 2 hours a week, we have to jam like 6-7 hours a day just before the gigs to like prep up, you know. So I guess, yeah, that's one of our main weaknesses, but we try and cover it up, we try and focus, we try and practice our parts individually, you know, all of us do our own thing, and then we finally merge and put on a good show, you know. But yeah, that's one of the weaknesses, staying in different countries and writing music for Guitar Pro rather than writing music together, you know.
And do you see yourself bridging this gap in the near future?
Of course, we are. I have 2 years left in my university. He has 2 years left. So yeah, as soon as we get done with university, we all like plan to like meet up more often and practice, rehearse more often, especially if you want to like go big, you know, we have to like practice more and keep it going.
Manish mentioned that university is another, well, this is a weakness because we're all in different universities, but university itself is also a huge weakness because that's your phone.
Yeah. We're in Kuwait.
Don't drink during interviews. Go on.
The problem is, you can't do music for your entire life, so you have to go into university and major in things that we can actually get careers in. So you have to find the balance of, spending time with the band, which you're serious with, doing well in university to get a job, and not being a hermit, socializing with people. So you have to find the right balance, and that was a struggle for me this year, and I first struggled for Manish.
Guys, how would you say your overall success has played a role in building the music industry here in Kuwait?
You can talk about that, Mr. Hasselhoff.
Well, since looking back at 3 years, I think we've come a long way making our music, writing our music, growing as a band, and I think, yeah, a lot of fans in Kuwait appreciate our music, and a lot of fans like tend to make their own bands, make their own sound, practice, and I think the scene in Kuwait is still growing. It's not there yet, but it's still growing, and especially the bans put by the government of not promoting music, metal music, and not allowing bands to have their own shows and putting restrictions and curfews. I think this will help people, the younger audience, like who are underground. Metal is underground everywhere in the world, but I guess the young musicians who want to come out on top will come out even stronger and better because of these restrictions rather than being open. Because I guess a lot of people over here, a lot of musicians in Kuwait are much different from musicians anywhere else where metal music is promoted openly. They tend to keep it by themselves, not share a lot, keep it on the down low, because people here are the mainstream. It's all dominant. The music is dominated by the mainstream. There's no promotion of rock or metal anywhere in Kuwait. So yeah, I guess that will help the musicians to grow from the inside.
Yeah, I was actually talking about this with Ahmed the other day. You were too busy, you were too cool to hang out with us the other day. But yeah, very cool. But Ahmed and I, very cool, eh? Ahmed and I were talking about this other day, and we thought, like, what would happen to us as people if we grew up in a place where rock and metal was accepted? We probably wouldn't be the same people we are today. And what I've noticed is that because, they don't sell magazines for rock or metal, there are no metal channels on TV, like, MTV's Headbangers Ball or something like that. Stop honking! And they don't sell CDs or anything like that here. Everything we have to discover on our own. And so I feel like everything we have to discover on our own. So I feel like the tastes here are all unique. It's based on what you personally discover and what you like. Whereas if you're in the US or in a place where it's accepted, you look at what's on the tabloids. And so I think that Kuwait has a lot of potential with their bands because they're all unique discoveries for the music that they like. And in terms of rock and metal, in terms of pop and rap, then listen to 99.7. Okay, but I think what we can do is that we're just showing them that you can kind of use things like the internet and you can work on a regional level. We're not performing in Kuwait, but we're performing in Dubai, and of course, a lot of people have relatives in Dubai, and you can get some cheap airplane tickets there, and so it's an accessible area to expand, and so that's what we're doing. But we're not forgetting that our base, our roots in Kuwait, because that's what made us the musicians we are. I think the key thing to improving the scene, though, is that the music supporters like us who complain a lot about the government and stuff need to do something about it. And I'm not calling for a revolution. I'm not advocating violence. Do not put me in jail, please. I'm flying in a few days. But what needs to happen is that when Nerf Cell in the United Arab Emirates existed, there weren't many extreme metal bands, and they played local shows, but they couldn't really get out from the UAE and expand. So what happened was that the fans started helping them by buying their merchandise, by going to their shows, supporting them unconditionally, even those who don't like Nerf Cell, but they like metal in general. That funded them, that gave them attention and exposure to become the world-recognized band and the biggest band in the Middle East they are today. And I think a lot of the people in Kuwait don't have that appreciation for underground like usually do. They think more of like, oh, I wish those big metal bands would come to Kuwait, but not I wish those local bands can perform. They say, oh, just local bands, just from Kuwait. They're nothing special. They're not from England or the US. I think the fans need to worry about how they can support the local bands.
There's a lot of unseen and unheard potential in Kuwait,
Yes.
you know, and fans need to really be appreciative of that. Go back to Dubai and you see so many fans supporting the local bands, even us, you know. We are diehard fans.
Yeah,
as if they would support a big band like Metallica or Slayer.
Yeah, they don't care what you listen to. Like in Dubai, we shared the stage with like a hardcore band, a thrash band, all different subgenres.
But they all appreciate the music. Every different genre is appreciated.
Yeah, whereas here people are like, you know, oh, it's not really my type. But you have to look for local. I think you have to look at a different perspective. It's kind of like these guys are trying to make music available in my country. Let's support them. You know, they are really brave.
Yeah, like they like.
I want to say big, but I don't want to curse and then be called like a heathen shit. Oh, I just said the S word.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sandals. Big sandals.
Everyone's probably gonna kill you for that.
Yeah, I know.
Voice of the Soul, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
So what's next for VOTS?
All right. I dropped my phone. Okay, so we're gonna release our third EP soon. We just finished recording it, and it's in the mix. And it's gonna be mixed for a couple of weeks, or probably gonna take a while, and then we're gonna release it. We're gonna focus on just promoting this EP. It's some of the best material we've written. We're really happy with it. But we're gonna take a break from writing since we've released an EP every year for the past 3 years. And we're gonna start trying to get shows. We're looking into Dubai as usual, Lebanon. Hopefully we can target something big like Turkey or India. Now that'd be really cool. And so we're targeting things like that. Because we're finishing university soon, we're gonna save recording a full-length album till after we graduate, because we can dedicate as much time as possible and a lot of money and a lot of
we basically we just want to release this EP, promote it as much as possible, spread the word, and hopefully next summer we can like focus on putting on some good shows and take a break from writing and focus on practicing as a band and as live.